Hi, everybody, and welcome. Okay, so we will be talking about TaroWorks 6.0 today. I'm Elaine Chang. I'm the Director for Market Development and Customer Success at TaroWorks, and we're super excited for today's showcase. So, as you've already seen the announcements around TaroWorks 6.0, we're super excited that you can join today so that you can learn about and see all the new features in action. So 6.0 is a major release for us, and that's because we're introducing our integration with mobile money. So many of our clients work in countries where mobile money is prevalent, or at least has a growing presence, but we heard that there are lots of pains around how to reconcile those collections transactions records from the mobile money providers with your client records that you may be keeping in your CRM. So as your clients increasingly pay using mobile money, we wanted to provide a way for you to spend less time linking those collections information into your CRM. So today, in addition to how Roger usually showcases our new features, we're doing something a little bit different. Our mobile money integration feature is connected to Bionic's very robust mobile money aggregation platform. So we're super happy that Doreen Lukandwa from Bionic is also joining us today, and she'll be giving you an overview of the company and showing you around the Bionic platform. So welcome, Doreen.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
Great. At this point, I'd like to hand it over to Roger to kick off the showcase. Roger, are you there?
I am. Thanks, Elaine.
Great, thanks. Take it away.
Yeah, so hey guys, as Elaine introduced me, my name is Roger Gishuhi. I'm part of the TaroWorks team, and I'm very excited about TaroWorks 6.0 release, especially the mobile money feature, but also we have other releases as well. As a background, for those of you who are new to TaroWorks, TaroWorks is an offline mobile field services app that helps organizations coordinate with their field agents working in the most remote parts of the world by extending Salesforce.com functionality. Here are the major feature updates in the upcoming release. So the first one is mobile money collections, which I'll go a little bit deeper in a sec. Then we have configurable photo compression. And third but not least, we have optional offline jobs integration. TaroWorks 6.0 comes with mobile money collections. This feature allows you to receive mobile money collection data from the Bionic platform to your Salesforce instance. You can then use this information to reconcile payments received with the associated transactions in Salesforce. So no more manual entering of data by people in the office of taking man hours to reconcile data that is coming from mobile money providers. At least that's our goal with this release. So for example, a company that sells solar or biogas products to a customer, the sale is created using TaroWorks in the field. As the customer makes payments across multiple mobile money providers, those through payments will be pulled into Salesforce, and those transactions and your customer repayment status can be viewed and used offline using TaroWorks. Another example is a company selling large equipment with financing can use this feature to track customer loan repayments made with mobile money against a customer accounts. Field agents can track their clients' latest repayment status offline during their visits. I'll be demonstrating this use case, but before that, I'd like to hand it over to Doreen of Bionic, who's going to talk a little bit about Bionic and explain how it works.
Thank you, Roger. So hi, everybody, once again. So basically, Bionic is a two-way digital payments platform. And the reason that we came into being is that majority of transactions in sub-Saharan Africa are cash-based. And that's a heavy cost on the economy, on the continent, on you as individual businesses. Ideally, it's estimated that $40 billion is spent in trying to deliver cash to the last mile or to collect cash from the last mile. So basically, where the economy is going and where the markets are going is towards digital payments for a number of reasons. And so Bionic comes in to play the role of aggregating all these mobile money services for you, but also helping to deliver these transactions to the last mile, and also helping the last mile deliver these payments back to you. So Bionic sector agnostic platform, what that means is that we support any type of business, regardless of whether you're delivering Pampers or whether you're delivering foodstuffs, whatever it is that you need to make payments for or to receive payments, or who you require to receive payments from, we are able to help you. So it's basically in portal that you log into, and you can credit people, you can receive money from people. We are literally connected to all the mobile money networks in the countries that we have presence, and we use one API to automate all financial systems for you. The backbone on which we stand is, of course, providing you a wide range of access. Through our direct connections, we are giving you access to 22 mobile money networks in the 5 countries that we have presence. We give you control, meaning that you're able to manage your accounts, you have visibility, you're able to audit your transactions, and of course, the data that you're able to further analyze and view offline as well. And then our pricing model is very flexible. So you can pay a monthly fee that caters for all your needs. You can pay sort of a pay-as-you-go per transaction if that is your requirement. So we've pretty much ensured that our platform is agile to sort of address the specific problems of the customers that we deal with. There is a map, I hope you can see it, that kind of shows our presence in the countries that we operate at the moment. We are in Ghana, we are in Uganda, Tanzania, Kenya, Rwanda. And I guess even before the question comes up, I wish to preempt that we are expanding quite rapidly. Ideally, our model is to sort of penetrate markets where there is a huge demand for the kind of services that we offer. So should there be a need in a country that you are present in right now and the business model makes sense to both of us, then we would be happy to visit actually penetrating that particular market. What makes us very unique, of course, is the mobile network connections that we have. We have very many consultancies that we work with. The international remittance providers that we partner with as well, and the fact that we give you access to all these facilities through one account. The highlights about our product: it is seamless, instant for you who is going to use it for collections. So it's just your customers are able to initiate the transaction on their end. You receive the money in real time, and you're able to reconcile your records as instantly as you receive the funds. We support through various channels. What that means is that people are able to send you money using a feature phone, which ideally would be using a USSD model. They could be using an app or a smartphone to perform that transaction. They could use the web interface. They could use a point of sale. So we are basically able to connect to any of these tools, depending on what your need is. So specifically to talk about our partnership with TaroWorks, we are basically helping you, giving you visibility of your successful collections so that your field agents can access that information offline. The cost that comes with this level of integration, it could either be, like I said, either a flat fee per transaction, but we are available through Elaine to have a one-on-one discussion with each of you, depending on the market that you're in and your specific need. Why the solution would be very good for you is because, like I said earlier, cash is a headache. I mean, the costs that are associated with it and the risks are really heavy. So this would help you get rid of inadequate reconciliations. inadequate accountability and audit trails, because for every transaction performed on the platform, you're able to see who performed it, how much it was, what time they performed it, and each transaction has a unique transaction ID. You're getting rid of the risk of fraud. You're getting rid of the risk of pilferage. Of course, the costs associated with handling cash and having to deal with very many mobile money networks and different partners. We pretty much host everything for you at a very minimal fee. So I will now jump over to a quick demo. So currently I am logged into a Bionic account, as you can see at the top. So where it says welcome Doreen Lukandwa, it would have the names of the company. So basically, as I create a payment here, our platform allows for two options. One, where the customer will enter a USSD code and put in the amount that they wish to pay you, and then you'll receive that transaction instantly. There may be cases where you have delayed payments and you as an organization feel that you would like to prompt your customers for those payments. You can use the Bionic platform to do that as well, the integration with Bionic and TaroWorks. So you pretty much, as you can see, there are multiple currencies here. You select the currency that you wish to collect or that you're working with, where you'd like that money to go. You type in the amount, which this is whatever you're seeing here. It could happen on your end as the owner of the company collecting your money, or on the customer's end where they're punching in information on their phone. Please note that all collections initiated by the organization have an expiry date, so you can set that at will, and then you simply create your payment. So now I will just quickly show you what a transaction statement on here would look like. So I will just scroll to the wallet. Okay, so you can see a range of unique transactions. You can see a service charge. You can see a customer to business transaction. That is me, the customer, actually having initiated the transaction to you. So it pretty much allows you visibility of every single amount of money coming into you, including the charges to Bionic. I'm going to show you how you can view the different types of transactions, that is successful transactions, failed transactions, or pending transactions. Just a second. Okay, so under my collections, I have an option to filter here. Sorry, just a sec. So I have an option to filter and just identify which types of transactions I'm looking for. Could be pending, if you specifically want to look at just the successful, the failed, expired, or reversed, because you do have the option to reverse a transaction if you make a request that is justifiable. So then you can also see clearly which transactions were successful and which were expired. At this point, I'd like to hand over to Roger, who is going to tell you what happens after your transactions have been successful. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Doreen. Roger, do you see the presenter? Great.
Yes, thanks, Doreen, for that. Now that the collection record has been collected in Bionic, so we come over to Salesforce. Once you've set up your Salesforce instance and connected it to your Bionic account, a nightly process will run to import all the newly created collections from your previous day. If there are times where you don't want to wait for the nightly batch, you can also import collections on demand based on a date range, and that is page that I'm showing right now, where here you can set, maybe if you want to show records that have been created today or since yesterday, I can come and say records created after the 16th and maybe before the 18th. Then after that, you go ahead and click import collections until those collections record will be created. After they're successfully created, you'll get an email that looks like this, that tells you this number of collection records between these dates have been added to your Salesforce instance. This process will not import duplicate collections. When the import is complete, the logged in user is the person who will receive this email summarizing the import. So let's look how an example of how a mobile money record looks like in Salesforce. So this is an example of a collection record. So first here we have the status of the collection record. Here successful, then we have the date of that collection record, the date and the time. We do have a field for reference. So for example, if you're issuing a unique reference ID to your customers, whether it's a customer identification or it's an invoice payment or a quote number, so they can use it and add it as they pay. They can add it in the reference and this will be populated here. Then we have the phone number. The phone number, this is gathered from the phone number that they used to pay for that mobile money payment. We have the amount and we have the currency. So below we have information just to monitor information between TaroWorks, Bionic, and the aggregator. But this is the core information. You can configure an automatic association of this information with other records in your instance based on your use case using information like the mobile number or the reference. For example, you could automatically generate a payment record against a loan for a particular customer record. The customer's remaining balance can then be updated and your field sales team can see the newly created customer payment. So for example, I built a process builder that based on the collection information that you're getting from Bionic and from the integration goes ahead and creates a payment record. So this payment record can either be matched by either the phone number or if you're giving a unique reference to your customer. So if, let's say if I give my customer is 2345, then this automation will match this collection record and then it will go and create. So for my customer here, it will go and create a payment record. So if I go to related record, I can see some payments have been created based on the records coming in from the integration with Bionic. So this can also be viewed at a step further with TaroWorks on the field. So mobile users, so this is an example of customer details where they can see the last payment date, when was that payment done, the amount of payment, total number of payments, and the outstanding amount. So this information flows to the field of officers' mobile devices. So you can imagine this is a huge time saver for partners who had to manually verify and input these mobile money payments into their Salesforce instance. I'll now hand over to Elaine to talk about the next steps and how to get you started with Bionic integration.
Great, thanks. So Roger, Doreen, thanks for taking us through this and the collections payments functionality. So for the audience, I hope you're getting some ideas for how to use this. But before we move on to the other new TaroWorks features, I want to talk just quickly about how you can get started with this collections records integration. So firstly, you do need to be a Bionic customer. So that means in addition to TaroWorks, you need to have a separate contract with Bionic. It is a third-party integration. So that means there's also a separate onboarding process, as you can imagine, with the financial processes. So they will take you through all of that. So if you are interested, get in touch with your TaroWorks customer success manager or myself, and we can connect you to the representative from Bionic who can help you move forward. So I think that's it. So let me just do another call out for Q&A. We'll be pausing here for a bit before we move on. And we did have a couple questions come in already. So let me address this first one to Doreen. This is a good one, just kind of talking about how your platform operates. So we have a question coming in from Kenya. This organization is using M-Pesa for mobile money. So would Bionic be an alternative to M-Pesa or Airtel money?
Thanks, Elaine.
How is Bionic different? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so Bionic would not be an alternative. Bionic would be a single platform that you access to be able to make or collect payments from both M-Pesa and Airtel. So we'll basically have all the networks in Kenya connected to our platform. Instead of you having to go and deal with those individual telecoms, you just sign up with Bionic, and through the access of one account, you're privileged to all those telcos.
Great, thanks. Are there, or can you explain what the fee structure is like? Will there be transaction fees from using Bionic?
Yes, there would be transaction fees. So we have the option of a monthly flat fee, which is in essence like a subscription fee, which comes with a package that allows you access to all these telecom connections, mobile money connections. You get data analytics, you have all the statements and reporting dashboards. But in the same breath, we also have an option for pay-as-you-go model, where we charge you per transaction. So depending on your need, we would just have a quick discussion with you and then agree on which model would best suit you.
Great, that sounds good. So yeah, again, if you have any questions or you want to find out more, let us know. We'll get you in touch with the right Bionic folks to have that discussion. Okay, and another question for you, Doreen. Let's say that there's a new market that where a client is interested in using your services that you don't currently have any partnerships, and we decide that there is a good business case there. How long does it take for you to establish operations there?
I think that's sort of a hard question to answer at this point, but based on experience, I'd say anywhere between 2 to 3 months, of course, depending on the kind of relationships that we have on the ground. If we were going to set up in that country on our own, it means that we would need to hire the right resources for it, or we would identify a reliable partner within that market who can help us expand as we build the capacity to hire our own resources on the ground.
Great, thanks. Great, I think that's all of the questions. We can certainly answer any others that you may have at the end, but I think at this point, I'll wrap up this portion and I'll hand it back to Roger to share the rest of 6.0.
Great, thanks, Elaine. So in a previous release, we enabled outbound images to be available in the drill-down hierarchy of your TaroWorks jobs. In TaroWorks 6.0, we've given the administrator control over the size of the images that are captured with TaroWorks. Using this feature, the administrator can elect to compress the photos into smaller file sizes to take up less space on the device when syncing them back out of the devices. You can control the maximum file size of your use case. So if the photos are being used for marketing purposes, for example, also continue to collect photos in the default maximum size of 5 MB. So in the application page, we now have a new section for images where you can set the maximum size of the image you'd like synced to Salesforce instance. If the image that is uploaded or photo that is taken by the device is larger than the maximum allowable size, TaroWorks will compress the image to be smaller than the maximum file size before saving it to the job. Image sizes can be set between 80 KB and 5000 KB, which is 5 MB. So you'll go ahead and set the file size of your images that you'd like here, and then go ahead and click save. And after the mobile user sync, this will be the limit to the size of images that will be compressed by TaroWorks to Salesforce. Okay. Another improvement we've made in this release is the ability to toggle offline jobs integration on and off. Offline jobs integration is a feature from a previous release that allows you to create a record in one job and reference it in another job without syncing. If you're not using this feature, you can now disable it in order to reduce your sync times. Before disabling this feature, please ensure that all mobile users have completed syncing their data into Salesforce. Once you've verified this, you can disable this feature in the application settings. So again, back to where we were setting the size for images. Now you'll find a new section for offline jobs, and this is where you can toggle this feature. If you're using it, by default, this feature is enabled. If you're not using it, then you can disable this feature. Again, it's very important to make sure that that you notify this to your mobile users and the jobs that they're collecting in the field have already synced before you disable this feature. This is to prevent any sync issues that might come up if the feature is disabled and some users are still creating records offline. Okay, so that brings us to end of our 6.0 feature release and webinar. So I'll hand over it back to Elaine. So if there are any questions that you might have, please post them on the Q&A now, or feel free to reach out to us later. So over to you, Elaine.
Great, Roger. I don't see any new questions come in, so just waiting to see if anything trickles in. Okay, so Roger, what can people do to get the new release?
Sure. So all the release documentation has been updated on our support site, on our Zendesk site. So feel free to head over there, read read a bit more about mobile money, how to set it up, and some of these features in details. Then on our release page, we'll be having the link then that you can upgrade. As always, we're always open to help you in the upgrade process. So do not hesitate to write to us if you're ready to upgrade to 6.0, and we will hop on a call with you and walk you through the upgrade steps.
Great. We have a question about the compression feature, the image compression. Is there any risk of losing image metadata using it?
No.
No, so the image, what it does, it just adjusts the file size while maintaining the aspect ratio. So the metadata information remains as it was before.
Are there any implications to the size? We have a couple questions about size for how much RAM will this release need. I think in general, the hardware and software specifications or specs can be found on our support site as well. So any RAM implementations are on there. I don't remember what it is right now.
Yeah, but yeah, right now.
Sorry. Hi, this is Anna.
Yeah.
I'm just going to jump real quick and just say there are no net new RAM requirements for this release. So the requirement persists. It's 1 gigabyte of RAM.
Great, I think that's it for the questions. So if you come up with other questions, definitely reach out to your customer success manager. Or if it's a technical question, you can type it into support@taroworks.org. And so I'll conclude the webinar for today. We do have a quick survey at the end to tell us your thoughts, so please fill that out. Thanks for joining, everybody, and thanks to Roger and Doreen for sharing what's upcoming in 6.0 and all the cool stuff that Bionic can do.
Yeah, pleasure's mine, Ellen.
Yeah, it was my pleasure too. We're really excited to get you on board, everyone who's listening.
Yes, exactly. Okay, great. Thanks, everyone, and see you next time.
Bye, guys.
Bye.